On an archaeological dig along the route of HS2, archaeologists have uncovered signs of occupation from the prehistoric to the 19th century. Early excavations revealed signs of Bronze Age, Iron Age and Roman people, but what archaeologists didn't expect to find were the well-preserved remains of an extensive Elizabethan garden. With comparisons to Kenilworth Castle and even Hampton Court Palace, our team of archaeologists led by Wessex Archaeology have revealed ornamental Elizabethan gardens of national significance. So join me as we explore these tremendous gardens and the aristocratic families who walked in them as we uncover the history of Colesall's past.
Today we're in Coles Hill. We're here carrying out archaeological excavations for LM on behalf of HS2 on the route of the new high-speed rail link between Birmingham and London. Archaeological works form part of the enabling works, which is pre-construction activities carried out in advance of the main phase of construction. This is excavation work, so we're excavating large areas. We've previously carried out sort of trial trenching works, evaluation works across the site, and we've now moved into our excavation phase. We would consider the archaeology here we've got prehistoric, Roman, medieval, post-medieval archaeology, so it's significant for all those periods. I think obviously the gardens themselves are of national significance. It's very rare that we get an opportunity to investigate archaeologically gardens on this scale or with such exceptional preservation.
So Kat, can you tell me a little bit about your role and what we're doing here on this amazing site?
So we're here because we've been contracted by LM, which is Langerock and Murphy joint venture, to carry out their enabling works in advance of High Speed 2, which has given us an unprecedented opportunity to look at such a large part of the countryside here in Warwickshire. To be able to see several kilometres across the landscape and all different periods of activity right throughout prehistory and through into the Roman period. My role is to direct the excavations here on site, so I'm in charge of all the archaeological decisions. So I'll have lots of discussions with the HS2 consultants, the county archaeologists, to ensure we're making the right sort of archaeological decisions. But I'm also in charge of the team and in charge of health and safety on site, making sure everything's running smoothly and safely.
Amazing. And so with that wider archaeological view that you have, can you tell me a little about the different periods of archaeology that you've found on this site at Colesall?
The earliest activity at the site dates to around 12,000 years ago, where we see changes in the watercourse of the River Cole in the form of paleo channels, which are old watercourses. And these can be great for trapping early activity at the site. And then we move into the Bronze Age period, so we're talking about 4,000 years ago, where we found a really good example of a Bronze Age burnt mound, which was about 30 metres in diameter right on this location where I'm standing. And then following on from the Bronze Age period, there's the Iron Age period. So we're sort of talking about the end of the 1st century BC, where we find 3 Iron Age roundhouses and lots of cremation burials, about 30 cremation burials, surrounded by a vast enclosed field system, incorporating lots of different pit alignments. So we're finding about 50 pits in total, really huge pits, stretching across the landscape for about 400 or 500 metres. And then we move into the Roman period, and we have another two late Iron Age, early Roman roundhouses with associated artefacts and field systems. And then a couple of hundred years later, we have another Roman settlement dating to the 2nd century AD.